All right, time for our next bout. Boy, this is going to be a lot of fun. Really accomplished and terrific fighter in MMA, Christina Ricker from the KMAA camp in Knoxville, making her debut in amateur Muay Thai, advanced amateur Muay Thai rules, presented by Corporate Clothing at 135, as she'll take on Julia Moore, making her debut in MMA from nearby Bristol, Tennessee. That's our next bout, our main event on the amateur portion of the card. Let's go back to the cage and Shamir.
Who's ready for some women's action? This is a contested Muay Thai bout in the bantamweight division, brought to you by Corporate Clothing USA. Introducing first, out of the red corner, Christina Roadhouse Ricker!
Roadhouse, Christina Ricker from Knoxville. The first out, the 27-year-old making her debut in amateur Muay Thai. And this is advanced amateur Muay Thai rules, Bobby. So we're going to be able to see elbows. There'll be elbow pads, but we'll be able to see elbows and no headgear in this one. What do you think of Christina Ricker?
Hey, 4-4 coming in, got fight experience that goes a long way. I said this before in the amateur Muay Thai fights. The 2-minute rounds feel like eternity if it's your first fight ever. With her coming from 3-minute rounds down to 2, you know, and especially with the experience coming in, now she don't have to worry about takedowns. She gets to really spread her wings and open up and sit down on some strikes, not have to worry about anybody timing a shot coming in on her. So I really am looking forward to seeing, and a great move, by the way. This is a phenomenal move by an amateur fighter to take a step back from MMA and dive into kickboxing. It's a part of your sport. She's doing the right thing, taking a step back and improving in other fields of the sport.
Yeah, and she was excited about being able to hone her skills, just focus on one portion of many in the sport. And look, it's not easy to book really good women's MMA fighters because there are fewer in the pool. So sometimes you got to wait longer to get fights. You keep your skills sharper by doing it. Christina Ricker is in the cage. And let's go back to the cage and Shamir.
Now, introducing the hometown hero, out of the blue corner, Julia Moore!
Julia Moore, the opponent for Christina Ricker. Moore, a debut fighter out of Champion Striking in Bristol, Tennessee. What do you think about the opponent, Julia Moore, for Christina Ricker?
Yeah, Julia's been training for 4 years now, coached by Lynn Cook at Champion Striking in Bristol, Tennessee. Been competing for the past 2 years, and you know, she got into the sport as a hobbyist and decided now to start taking it serious 2 years ago and started competing. Now she's making her debut in kickboxing. Sounds like she's gone through all the right steps. Looking at her coming in, ton of confidence. Yesterday at weigh-ins, tons of confidence. You know, and the female fights to begin with, unreal. Like, you'll never have to worry about it, action-wise.
Yeah, it is, and Christina Ricker knows about that. We'll talk about it in a second, but we take a look at the tail of the tape in this women's advanced amateur Muay Thai rules at 135 pounds, presented by Corporate Clothing. Ricker from Knoxville and Moore both making their debut. Two young fighters, Moore 3 years younger than Ricker, both at 5'5", and weight nearly identical, with Moore coming in 1 pound lower than Ricker. But Ricker knows about not only how exciting women's MMA is, but Christina Ricker in her last bout, she was along with Megan Poe, first ever women's main event in Valor Fights. And that was at the Shed in Maryville for Valor Fights 49. So she knows about being in the spotlight as a women's fighter.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I've seen that. Very first ever female main event in Valor Fights history. It's a lot of pressure, you know, and she's dealt with these, you know, these pressure thresholds and pushed through them. That goes a long way when it comes to, you know, in the cage and fight maturity overall.
And that was a UD win over Megan Poe, which had snapped a 3-fight losing streak for Ricker in MMA. Before that, 2 straight wins, started out 1-1, but that's an MMA. This is Muay Thai. Back to the cage and Shamir.
Now you might be wondering about the difference in gear. This is an advanced Muay Thai amateur fight, so they are wearing different gear. I will be introducing out of the red corner first. This lady hails from Knoxville, Tennessee. She fights out of Knoxville Martial Arts Academy. Let's hear it for Christina Roadhouse Ricker! Now out of the blue corner. This lady is a hometown hero, fighting right here and living in Bristol, Tennessee, fighting out of Champion Striking. She also has experience in the women's mixed martial arts divisions as well, making her Muay Thai debut as well. Let's hear it for Julia Amber Moore! Your referee for this fight is Jimmy Neely.
Jimmy Neely, our referee, in our amateur main event. It's Advanced Amateur Muay Thai. 3 2-minute rounds. It's presented by Corporate Clothing at 135. Christina Ricker in the all black with the red glove tape. Julia Moore in the black and white American flag trunks with the blue glove tape, and we're underway. Big exchange. Ricker lands.
Already coming down the pipe. Christina Ricker throwing straights left and right.
More aggressive and standing right there in the pocket.
Line strike, line strike.
Big kick.
Got Moore looking to establish a little bit of dominance here. Lead side head kick. Nice teep for Ricker.
Ricker does a great job of mixing her punches and kicks in all forms of fighting, whether it's here or in MMA.
Very nice. Over the top of Ricker's glove was Julia Moore with a straight right. Down goes Moore just off of a trip.
7-10, 7-10, 7-10.
And nearly just a check at Julia Moore, but no standing count. Big right
Down.
landed
Oh,
by
standing
Ricker.
in the pocket. 3 of those 4 strikes landed right here, Vince. Good clinch. Let's see if she can establish some good knees, and let's see where the elbows take place.
Not MMA. Won't go to the grappling game. Moore started to and then realized, I can't do it here. But Moore is eating some shots and it kept coming. Ricker's checked a couple of those kicks from Moore.
Established a nice jab right off of Julia Moore. Going for the sweep right here is Moore. Gets it. A little more of a plow over a sweep right here, but nonetheless, legal in the sport.
Yep. A little demoralizing when
Nice jab across right here by Julia Moore. 20 seconds left. Nice lead body kick for Ricker right here.
kick blocked by Ricker.
7B10, 7B10, B10, B10.
Moore going for the trip again.
Separates, throws some bombs at
Wow.
the end of the round. Is Julia Moore trying to close that round out, Vince?
Yeah, and influenced the judges too. So how would you score that round?
You know, Julia Moore had some activity in the round. Lands a nice plow towards the midway through the round. You know, but you got Ricker over here at the same exact time, landing 3 or 4 exchanges being thrown. She's throwing, you know, some smoke down the middle and landing them.
Right.
Every once, and Julia Moore will counter back. Right here, here comes the plow right here, the foot sweep, and down goes. Oh, that's Ricker when she was attempting to sweep here. Excuse
Nice
me.
try. There it is.
There it is right here. Doing a good job. But, you know, nobody has reared back and thrown any bit of an elbow yet. And that is why you do advanced Muay Thai, is take the headgear off, throw the elbows. It makes it real.
Yeah, and both fighters with the elbow pads, which you're allowed to throw those, but we have not seen it as of yet. Maybe Ricker, do you think a slight advantage in terms of more significant strikes?
I would say yes, Ricker has a slight advantage on significant strikes this round. You got Julia Moore smiling between rounds, having a good time enjoying herself right here.
And 2 bulls ready to go.
Look at him coming out, swinging the second round. That's what you love about second rounds of fights like this.
Yeah, women's MMA is entertaining to begin with, but then you have these two.
Hey, skip punch off Christina, turns into a clinch right here. You got Julia Moore just firing back.
Yeah, jumping like Superman type punches.
Walking right into it. I'd like to see more of a setup with strikes. Punch, kick, punch for Christina. She's landing the kicks, but she's taking some shots in return.
And you know, credit to her to be willing to do that.
Hey. Ricker curring a little bit. You got Moore plowing to the fence line, establishing that dominant clinch right here. Jimmy Neely separates, and they go right back to clinch again. Once again, let's see if somebody comes over the top with an elbow.
Yeah, and I was just thinking that because our analysts on the Valor Hour thought that might be a difference maker in this fight by those elbows being allowed.
Looks like Ricker right here is starting to settle into a stride, got a little more confidence about her, and chin down a little more.
So Moore going for the trip again after catching the kick. Interesting. Time is called, and they're going to fix the elbow pad that hasn't been used for an elbow strike yet.
That's right. Yeah. You know, they're fighting with 10-ounce gloves, elbow pads, and they're fighting with IKF-approved cloth shin guards. This is much of a real fight, but we haven't seen the elbows really be used this fight at all. Right here is the ideal time. Ricker can make some space, crash this elbow down the pipe and end this. But right here, just walking into a barrage of punches is Christina Ricker.
Yeah, Ricker tried to throw an elbow.
There's an elbow right
There
here. Julia Moore fires the first elbow with a fight with a back to the fence. Throwing the knees is Julia Moore right here. Looks to be imposing some will.
And Jimmy Neely's going to break them up. Interesting. They looked active.
5.
Back underway. Another shot landed by Moore.
Standing straight up. Got a little bit of blood coming from the mouth right here, Julia Moore. Clinch for Julia Moore once again, trying to hit the sweep, doing a very good job at utilizing some tools in Muay Thai kickboxing to get ahead on the judges' scorecard.
Final seconds of round number 2, 3 2-minute rounds.
Just throwing away is Julia Moore trying to close this round out. This was a much tighter round right here, Vince. This right here, I would hate to score, honestly. I'm going to have to edge out on this one. Julia Moore, for the bare fact, she took advantage and clinch, fired the elbow that did land. And we'll see who goes. It's a 1-1, fight to me right here.
It is tough because in their exchanges, there's often times that they're landing simultaneously.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, it's punch for punch. It's a matter of who beats who to the punch, though.
They're even kicking at the same time.
Yeah.
Take us to this replay.
Here, very nice right here. Backing up. Let's see if this is where. Look, Christina Ricker comes straight in. Julia Moore's jumping, almost as if she's trying to upset the timing of Christina Ricker so she can sit down on her with a nice hard hit. There's the elbow right here. Nice rear vertical elbow. Trying to lift up Christina Ricker. Throws the elbow over the top again. Utilize 2 elbows within 5 strikes. She is opening up, and maybe in the third round, look, all smiles right here from Julia Moore. And so we'll see how the third round plays out. Now they're in their stride, but man, the thing about women, their cardio never dies.
Yeah.
Like, they got gas in the tank. Look at her.
Two young fighters are ready to go.
Absolutely. 2 young studs with a very aspiring future ahead of both of them.
Joey Zonar, Jason King among those in the corner of Christina Ricker. Final 2 minutes, 3 2-minute rounds.
Yeah, Ricker's on this bicycle this round. She is moving, which she is known for her footwork, but she's walking right in. Good teep off of Christina Ricker. See if she establishes a separate them.
Yeah, Ricker a little disappointed that she couldn't be the aggressor there.
That's right. Nice rear low power off of Julia Moore. Responds back with a lead.
Sorry, but do you want to see Ricker maybe set shots up?
I'd like to see Ricker get out from in front of the train because she's walking directly into it. And it might look like Julia Moore's backing up. She's literally bouncing off of her. She is firing punches down the pipe. Ricker's trying to, Julia Moore's trying to stand her ground. Now she's plowing forward. Let's see if Ricker, she's aiming hard for the sweep right here is Julia Moore, trying to get ahead on the judges' scorecard right here. Staying uber active in the clinch is Julia Moore, firing knees.
Yep, to the body. There's another one by Moore to Ricker.
I mean, when you have these unanswered strikes like this right here, Vince, look at her. She has not turned off the gas pedal yet.
Unbelievable. And the elbow pad
Got an elbow pad again.
And that might be a break for Ricker, who was on the receiving end of the onslaught.
Absolutely. I mean, a barrage of punches again. Doing the head dances, Christina Ricker right here. But you got Julia Moore throwing right down the middle. Ricker responding back, right, left. Ricker is on her like a cheap suit right now. You got Julia Moore firing off this clinch right here. Just staying active as Julia Moore throwing the knees, body punches. Really looking to squeak out on this judges' scorecard right here, Vince.
Crowd reacting as the action is nonstop. Jimmy Neely going to separate them. And we're down to the final 20 seconds of this fight.
Let's see if she can bite down on it right here, Vince. She is taking unanswered punch after unanswered punch.
Both fighters letting it loose
Hey,
here.
nice overhand arc and elbow off of Julia Moore as she's backing up. Big knees for Julia Moore right here. Big, nice knee for Ricker, trying to establish and close the gap.
Wow, what a
Beautiful fight.
performance. Hug it out, that's right. Well deserved. These two ladies let it go. Great job by both fighters, and they'll hug again. Fantastic performance by both fighters, and we're going to the judges' scorecards, and man, this is going to be interesting on who gets the dub in this one. And again, two fighters that look nothing like a debut in what they were fighting in. Their experience in other forms of the fight game, but especially Christina Ricker in MMA, who has a 4-4 record in amateur MMA, and coming off of that win at Valor Fights 49 over Megan Poe. But both of them with making their Muay Thai debuts here at Valor Fights 51. So exciting. Women's MMA often is what delivers the highest level of entertainment. It's why you see in many promotions, including now Valor Fights, that the women are main events, and it was the main event on their amateur portion of the card. So we go to the judges' scorecards to find out a winner. Christina Ricker, Julia Moore. One of these two is going to get the W. Let's go to the cage and find out. Here is Shamir Peshewa.
All right, we go to your judges' scorecard for the decision. Before I announce it, let's give these ladies a round of applause. I definitely know All right, all of your judges score this fight by unanimous decision. Out of the blue corner, Julie